Hi, this is Steve Walton from Tropic Heating and PatioHeat.com. Today we're going to take a look at this residential application. So this particular application has three, possibly four different zones, I'll call them. So basically we have a casual seating area over here on the left, a dining area here, bar stool seating here, and then a cook prep area over here. So let's go ahead and look at the dimensions. Each one of those areas are going to be separate. There are similarities between casual seating and dining, but in any case, let's go ahead and look at the dimensions. I got 9'3" over here, 9'1" height over here. I got 32'6" width here, or length rather, and then 13'9", 13'10" depth here. So let's go ahead and turn that off. And I wanted to mention again that this is a slope ceiling, so we will have to address that with the especially electric heaters, so keep that in mind. Alright, so gas heaters, these are Sunpack model S25, so they require a 9-inch clearance above the heater. The heater itself is 8 inches by 8 inches by 48 inches, and you can see here it's got a pretty good height on it. Let me go ahead and just measure that off for you. So we have that. So we have a 7'8" height. Okay, and then I basically put 3 units in here. We could put a 4th unit on the outside edge over here, but it might be overkill. It might not be. We'll have to determine that. So the footprint of heat on a S25, you can see is approximately 10 foot by 12 foot wide at this height, but its intensity is 25,000 BTUs. So, we're not going to cover all of the space here. It's kind of impossible unless we put the extra heaters on the outside edges, and I kind of wanted to keep this uniform. I'm not sure that you'd want to have heating on the outside edge, so let's just bear that in mind. Now, bar stool seating height, you can tell, is obviously higher than normal seating height, and S25 right above you might be a little warm, so something to think about. However, you could always turn this one off and the other two on, and on very cold nights, turn this one on. It really just depends. It is a harder issue to combat, but an S25 is less than a 34, so it might be comfortable enough for some people here. Now, I just mentioned a 34,000. A 34,000 requires 4 additional inches of clearance, so the heater would be 4 inches lower and about 25%, 30% more intense. So I'm not quite sure I'd like to have that. And also, if I put a 34 here, then this footprint of heat is going to be down a little bit lower, so it's going to be more intense and it's going to be tighter. So the distance of the throw won't be as wide because it's down lower. This is a light wave that we're dealing with, even though we're running gas here. So I'm not going to get the coverage I would if I was to, we could just simulate that here. Let's see here, if I just pulled this down 4 more inches, you can see that the intensity on the ground here is just a little bit less. So that would be the height of a 34,000 BTU unit. Let's go back up and let's go back down again so you can kind of see what's going on here. Alright, so that would be Sunpack models, gas units. Now, I'm not a structural engineer. I'm assuming that the builder would have to reinforce up here to support these heaters. These are 48 pounds a piece and applied with 2 different brackets. This here, you can see that I have this heater level and the ceiling is at a slight slope, so you'd have to fill in that little bit of a gap right here that you can see that the bracket's not attached to the ceiling. Put a block spacer or something of that nature. Alright, whoops, let's get back here and we'll go ahead and turn the gas off, and this would be the electric equivalent. These are 4,000 watt units. Now, a 4,000 watt unit, because we have the 3 zones, we could change this particular unit and have a control system on it, or we can even go with a 3,000 watt unit here. It looks identical to the 4,000 watt unit, and it'll give you the same footprint, just not as intense at this mounting height. So go ahead and turn the array on with these units, and you can see again we get roughly about the same footprint. I think this is about 11 by 10 footprint, and you can see we have good overlapping, and because we're a little bit higher, that throw is a little bit wider. It's meeting the floor at a further point, so it's a little bit wider there. But again, we're missing this couch here on both of those applications, and we don't have this cook center heated up very well as well. So the only other option would be to mount additional units on the outside edges. That would be something that could work. But again, we're not hitting the entire space with one unit. The only way we can hit an entire space is by putting a unit here and then against the wall, and then subsequently, sorry, there and up here. So it'd be adding a lot more units in order to do similarly the same job. So, all right, let me turn that off for a second and turn these outer units off. I just want to talk real quickly about the doors. So I have this door swinging inwards. If it was swinging outwards, it's something I'd have to be concerned about with regards to the clearance around the unit. I need on the ends here, I need from the top, I need 6 inches, and then from the bottom, I need 18 inches. It shouldn't be a problem if this was a door that came out, I don't think. But I'm assuming the door just swings inwards there. This door here is a sliding door, so it's not a concern. And then of course the last thing that we want to talk about is I don't have the detail of the ceiling and where any type of lighting might be, so that's another issue. And lastly, we have to keep electric heaters level because these elements here, these are basically a spun wire inside of here, and if you have it at a slope, then eventually this wire is going to go downhill because it expands and contracts every time you turn it on. You heat it up, it expands, and then turn it off, it cools and contracts. And as it does that, it would eventually go downhill, and it would all gather up in one end, and then you'd have a hot spot, and then eventually it would not function properly. Maybe like arc out, something of that nature. But you can see again, I have this gap here, and that's what you need. You need that level, so put a block behind that gap. You can match a piece of wood up pretty nicely with that. Whatever that ends up being as far as the slope is concerned. The customer said it's a 2-inch slope, I think is what they had with this. So all right, well, there you have it. I hope this has helped. If it has, a thumbs up would be great. It lets us know that people appreciate this type of service. And if you're looking for assistance with your outdoor heating application, please give us a call or just send us an email. I'm Steve Walton from Tropic Heating and PatioHeat.com. Our email address is support@patioheat.com. Thank you very much and have a great day.